Hey survivors, Jonathan here at Night Knowledge. Instead of continuing where I left off in Cannibal Crossing with the Day 2 Ronin, I've decided to show you some mid to end game content instead. And spoiler alert, we might actually survive, unlike typical sessions of Deadly Days or Death Road to Canada. Let's see how we escape. Let's get started. So if you remember, the game mode that I'm in is called Escape from Earlsboro, and the goal is to save as many survivors as you can, killing their boss to get special parts to fix either a gate in the north, a bulldozer in the west, or a chopper a short walk north of my base. Today we're tackling Ash's boss, the Crackling. Whenever you actually come to a boss, you're going to notice that there's a big circle, and it'll let you know, hey, there's a boss. And you have to have everything ready. You have to have your guns in the right hot slots. You need to have your med kits already equipped, because once the boss fight actually starts, you can't pause the game and rearrange your inventory. So I've made that mistake early on. I didn't really read it, so I don't think it actually specifically says you can't pause the game, but that's something that new players will need to find out. So this is the Crackling. The arms provide invincible barriers, but I feel like the bottom is the best place to attack it, and it does spawn some little guys. And right now I'm using a higher tier weapon, and I believe it's a level 2 Uzi. The Uzi is good, as you can see, because it shoots very quickly, but the problem is it uses up ammo extremely quickly. So now I've switched to the assault rifle. I think it's only level 2, and the developers usually recommend that you're using at least level 3 to 4 so you're not using up so much ammo. But it's a pretty quick battle, and we've defeated the Crackling now. So when you defeat it, then your follower's happy. You also have to make sure that your follower doesn't die during the boss fight, otherwise you'll have to restart again. And we're going to go to the middle here, and whenever you defeat a boss, it'll give you a special item which is required to actually escape from Earlsboro. So I would like to see some boss fights give some rarer weapons. Right now, like sometimes I've seen you'll get sticks, or you'll get bows, which really doesn't make any sense. So now that we've defeated the Crackling, we're going to head southwest. We're going to scavenge on the way, because we did use up quite a lot of ammo. So I want to get back my pistol ammo. I want to get back some more assault rifle ammo, because we're going to help another follower. I'm not too sure who it specifically is. I think it's the girl, Rosa, or something like that, and Rose. And we're going to be fighting a boss called the Grasper. But as you saw with the Crackling, it's not too hard. I might have made it look easier than it might be. Mainly, the main thing with any combat, just like normal combat, is you always want to be running around, you always want to be moving, and you want to dodge as well. This specific build that I'm using doesn't utilize buffs to your dodge, so you can avoid ranged combat and melee combat with the specific talents or perks taken, and I did not specifically do that in this run through. So we've met up with also here Blackjack at the bank, and he will give you a quest to kill a boss at the far edge of the map to the west. It is it's like a corrupted totem pole. But I don't like going that far. It takes the whole day to get there, and it takes a lot of ammo to kill that boss. This is one of the new things with the current test branch, which probably by the time you see the video, you'll see this update. And basically, which I'm doing it very quickly, the recipes, you can actually see all the recipes available instead of having to scroll up and down to see what you can cook. And all food is supposed to provide you some buffs. And as you can see, all I need is one more level, and I'm going to hit level 20, and I'm looking for the very last talent on the far right of the second to last row. That will allow me to regenerate health whenever I'm below 50% health. the developer did say that he does plan, he thinks it's a little bit too strong, and I agree, it's a very strong perk to be able to heal yourself whenever you're under 50% health, but when you don't have that talent, the game is extremely hard in my opinion. So you'll notice in the top left near my portrait, there's kind of like electricity running left to right, and that is my special. I've killed enough enemies so that my special bar has charged up, and my character Ronin, his special ability is kind of stupid, I think, in that when you turn on his special, he becomes like a solid snake, and he puts on a cardboard box, and none of the enemies can see him until he actually does something other than move. So he can move around all he likes, and enemies can't see you. So a lot of times before, I never used the crossbow. I did not see the value of a crossbow, but the crossbow is actually pretty good because the developers made it so that the more noise you make, the more enemies that will spawn around you. And the crossbow does make noise, but a lot less noise than, say, a pistol or, say, a shotgun. I found that I would always be dumbfounded why on day 6, just like we are right now, I would be fighting against endless hordes of enemies. Like, enemies would just not stop, and it was probably because that the more noise you make, the more enemies are going to spawn. But I didn't realize it would spawn endlessly, and that is what was happening. I was using a shotgun, probably the loudest type of gun in the game, and enemies would just keep spawning. So we're going to kill that guy in the corner, and then we are going to lockpick this safe. Okay. We're going to go to the fridge. And now with the new way, one of the new updates with cooking is not only is it easier to see what you can cook at one time, they also simplified the recipes. They removed some foods and made certain recipes easier to make. So I really like that. As you can see, I have some pizza in the bottom right, I have some spaghetti, I have a cheesecake as well. So I will actually hold on to my food ingredients and save it for hopefully being able to make something. But if you look on the left hand side, we're coming up to the next boss, the Grasper, as you can see with the blue area. Okay, so we're going to help Rose here. And I believe the storyline for Rose was that her coworker was supposed to come into work but never came into work, and she found out some people had beat up her coworker. And you find out that they were, I guess, turned into ghosts or mutated of some sort. So this is Grasper. Pretty simple boss, one of the more simple bosses. Obviously you want to just target it. It will spawn multiple copies of it, and it will do damage to them if you shoot them. And if you shoot, like, I guess, the copies, then it'll make them disappear. But once again, all you have to do is always be moving, dodge once in a while, make sure that you don't stay in those circles where the lightning will stun you. I've never really let Grasper really touch me, so I don't know how much damage it would do, but, you know, I don't want to find out. And we're okay, I think, with our rifle ammo still. And one thing, by the time you play this, you'll notice that the boss health has decreased, but every time you kill a boss, they will then end up doing more damage to you. So we got another special item, and it looks like these are all for the chopper. So we need 3 pieces for the chopper to leave, but in this game mode, it kind of wants you to save as many people as possible, and up above, those are all the different people you can save. Okay, so let's just take a look at my inventory. So I just want to put my assault rifle back. I do have a perk where there's a chance when I kill enemies to restore ammo, but even with that being said, I like to keep my I like to use my crossbow rather than my assault rifle. Just as you can see, I obviously save that for the boss fights. Okay, grab some wood. As you can see, the follower AI is not the best. Those enemies, you may notice that sometimes they have this kind of like purple shield or sphere around them. It's a projectile shield. So I'm gonna make some bandages. I'm okay on health right now, but it's always good to have extra bandages. There's a corpse we can scavenge from. Picked up a few things. We're gonna cook again, and as you can see, is much more enjoyable in terms of cooking now. I can actually cook things. I can see all the different things I can cook. So I made the Sin Special. Technically, if you read the tooltip for the Sin Special, if you eat it, then it's supposed to fully heal you, but it doesn't seem to do that right now. So we'll equip some throwing knives, and we got a sniper rifle, but it does a little bit less damage than the crossbow that I have, so I'm gonna just melt it. And just looking at the map to see where we can go. There's no bosses right now that we can fight. So it was going to get very dark, and I don't feel like that's really conducive for actual recording. So we've skipped to the morning of day 7, and I believe there is a boss that we can fight. I believe we're going to go for Big Mother Sucker, so which is over there. So we're going to head over. It is day 7, and as you can see, that enemy just spawned out of nowhere. And I don't think that's supposed to happen. It's supposed to maybe do that off the screen, but on the screen, I don't think enemies are just supposed to poof into existence. So hopefully the developers can see this video and they can hopefully fix that. So here comes some cannibals, kind of like a jumper and a normal. The normal I can one-shot, but the jumper looks like we need 2 crossbow shots. And there's a footballer. Takes 2 shots as well. And there, I hate those guys, those mage guys that are throwing those 1 billion fireballs. They have far too much health. I think we need to reduce the amount of health on those guys at least by 50%. So we're coming up to the actual boss again. We're going to switch out our weapons. We're going to put in our Uzi and our assault rifle. And if you look up there, that red thing, that's called a splitter. And if you don't kill it within even, like, I believe 3 seconds, it's going to cause a hunting party, which is basically a large amount of enemies all around you are going to spawn twice and overwhelm you. And while it's good experience, it uses up a lot of your ammo, and they don't really drop anything usually. But one trick is, if you trigger the boss area, it'll kill everything on the screen. Like, no enemies will come and spawn on top of you. So this is Big Mother Sucker. I wouldn't say... I'd say is one of the harder fights, only because it does absorb a lot of health, and it does this attack right here where you kind of have to, like, move but also dodge at the same time. If you have the perk or the talent where when you dodge you avoid ranged projectiles as well, that'd be very helpful right here. Instead, my character has a perk or a talent where when you get hit, you're invincible from damage for a second or 2. So, but in this game, you can have both of those perks, the one that allows you to be invincible while dodging and the one invincible after taking damage. As you can see, Big Mother Sucker will follow you if you go away from them, and if you go towards them, it'll kind of like back up. And when the mouth is closed, it will not take any damage. And it does do the lightnings as well, so you gotta watch out where you dodge. Okay. So right now, I'm just a little bit concerned about the ammo situation. We don't have a lot, and it's only at half life. Like that. So got to get a few times there. I'm okay still. Before this version of the game, like in previous versions, it was you can shoot this guy more often. His mouth was open more often. But we almost got it. I think this volley should do it. Nope, next volley. Let's reload. Gotta be careful. That's a lot of. This is one of the few bosses I feel that when you damage it more, it changes the attack, or the attack becomes more intense. But that was that boss fight. Okay, so we got another item piece, and we got enough pieces to fix the chopper. So we might head there. Okay, so I'm gonna put. Oh, actually, you know what? I did not have that point. So I just put that point I just put in is the talent that makes you invincible after getting hit. So that would have been helpful in taking a little bit less damage. But once again, if you're moving, if you're dodging at the right time, and you're not panicking, then most confrontations are doable. The main thing is having enough ammo to do it. So I always put perks or points into the bottom column, so that will increase my ammo, I guess, capacity. So if I want to survive at this point or defeat any bosses, I'm going to need to get some more ammo. So I'm going to start scavenging again. We're going to need mainly metal, but I also want to upgrade my base because I feel like the turrets aren't really doing a good enough job. So I need to make some more turrets. That will require some wood. That will require scrap. That's the screw symbol. And as you can see, there is a new type of I believe that's a cannibal, and it's kind of like a rhinoceros or a charger cannibal. So we're gonna do a little bit more scavenging, but it is about, what is it, almost 4 o'clock, and it's actually gonna rapidly get dark soon. So I'm gonna skip forward to the next day, and we'll see what we're gonna do at this point. Welcome to the morning of day 8. I've actually decided, instead of killing some more bosses, I don't really have enough ammo, and it's going to take me too long to get more ammo at this point. So almost directly to the north of my actual base, there is a helicopter. There's the helicopter that I can fix. So I'm just going to fight off these negatives. And you'll notice my base design. I have some lights. They're supposed to slow down the negatives, but I don't really see that happening. And as you can see, there's one of the biggest type of negatives. The turret is keeping them back, which is good for me. And you'll notice that not all the turrets are shooting right now, which is not great. So once again, that's something on my wish list. Number 3, 2 and 3 is that number 2 is that the followers follow you better and shoot more often, and number 3 on my wish list would be that the turrets shot more often, because sometimes they're really good, sometimes turrets are just trash. You know, and I can't code, so you know, that's. I just want to say that it's not very good right now. Because you spend all that time designing a base, designing defenses, and then your turrets are not doing turrety things. So I feel like it's a waste of resources. I could have spent those resources making, I guess, ammo instead, so I can shoot the enemies. So, and as you can see, I have all my followers inside my actual base, and the enemies are actually attracted to them, and the followers are just not shooting. So that's something that they need to improve on. I use barbed wire for my fence because it's cheaper than, say, there's like a Tesla type of fencing which shocks them and I believe does a little bit more damage, but it's much more expensive. So I'm going for cost efficiency right now. So I'm going to head directly north, and as you can see, here's the chopper. We made it really close, so there's a lot less walking. Normally I wouldn't make a base in this area. This is kind of like southeast of the middle area. I did it so that I wouldn't have to walk so far for the chopper. So we're gonna kill these cannibals, and whenever you're doing this last part, whether you're fixing the gate, you're fixing the bulldozer, or you're fixing the chopper, you're going to install the 3 pieces, but then it's going to spawn 2 big waves of cannibals. So here I'm installing 1 piece, and it'll make me do another one above it, and then the last one bottom right. And the thing is, that soldier right there, he's not going to shoot. He's not really going to help you. He's like, you do it. You find the pieces, you fix the chopper, and I'm just going to sit and watch you to defeat the horde of negatives, actually. These are negatives. These are not cannibals, actually. The only good news is that the negatives are not very strong. They're just the normal, I guess, runners. So here's the super, Ronin's super. And as you can see, he's solid snake now, and enemies can't see him, and they can go beat up on that soldier instead. But I'll just finish it off. And right now I'm using a shotgun. I'm using actually an upgraded shotgun, and I've switched to a chainsaw that I picked up at nighttime that you guys probably didn't see. The chainsaw is fantastic against trees, so that you can cut down trees and get a lot of wood, but without a chainsaw it's very time consuming to be able to get enough wood. So we've fended off against the negatives, and now we have our chopper, and all we have to do is escape off the map. But that's basically it. That's a short version of the game. I could help, I believe, 5 more survivors to basically win the game, but I did the short version. So that's one of the endings to Cannibal Crossing. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Check out the rest of my channel for other videos on Cannibal Crossing, video games, board games, and other fun things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.